Hi, this is Tawana Freeman with the Black Life Coaches Network, and thank you for joining us for another episode of BLC TV. Well, today we have a very interesting topic, and I know so many people have thought about this particular transition in life, but may have, wondered, I wonder if I can do it. And that transition is thinking about changing or making the transition to a vegetarian and or a vegan diet. So my guest today is the one and only, you know, nourishing vegan herself. Our guest is Jenné Claiborne. How are you, Jenné?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic, and I appreciate you taking your time to join us. Now you're
My
based
pleasure.
in you're based in New York, correct?
Yes, I'm in New York City.
All right, fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you do, because we know. Let's first introduce you and let people know that you are a chef. You are a vegan
Mhm,
chef,
mhm.
and you have your own cooking show that you work right out of your
Yes,
kitchen in New York, right?
yes,
All right.
exactly.
So tell us how you got started in that.
Well, let's see. I actually came to New York about 4 years ago to become an actress. I went to school in Boston for acting. That's what I studied in college. So I came here to be an actress, but when I got here, I wasn't really feeling it. It wasn't that much fun to me anymore. Um, but I was so passionate about food for years before that even. But just being in New York, it's just you see all the possibilities. It's so inspiring to live here. Everybody, seems to be doing their own thing. And I started realizing that I could actually really live my passion, which was for food, my ultimate passion. So I started to figure out how to make this work. I worked in restaurants. At that time, when I first moved to New York, I was vegetarian, but I actually got a job at a vegan restaurant, which inspired me to actually become vegan down the line. And it really, I just was able to really build on my passion to the point where I felt comfortable with saying, you know what, I'm going to start a personal chef service. I love to cook. I'm good at it. That's that'll be great for me. I started my blog as a hobby when I was still acting, just because I needed to have that creative expression. And then I started the cooking show when I was getting a little bit more serious about this, and then the business. And now I do the blog, I do the cooking show. I work as a personal chef here in the city. I also do vegan health coaching. I do group programs. There's just so much more that I'm doing now that I would never have expected, 4 years ago. But it's good. I love it.
It's actually the reason why I was actually very attracted to your website is one, because you have a very organized platform. For those people who are considering the transition, you make it very easy, very welcoming to find out as much as you can as you're in the process of considering it. And so for
Yeah.
me, I've often considered it. I mean, for years, I've considered a vegetarian diet. Most of my friends are vegetarian, but for some
Wow.
reason, I just have not transitioned. Call it because I'm from the South, and most
Hmm.
Southerners typically have, a lot of meat in our diets. And so it's for me, it's been one of those conversations with myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the one thing that I enjoyed most about your website, once I found you were referred to me, once I discovered your site, saw your platform, it became so much more easy to understand it. The steps, you actually have a program to help
Hmm.
people transition. There's a 30-day transition program. And so, as a coach, you actually do a fantastic job in making it, the information readily available. And so you've done a fantastic job with that. And I know for those people who are watching, you need to check out our website, but we'll give you that information in a minute. So let's talk about, dispelling the myth that comes with all the different, the lifestyle of being a vegetarian. One myth is that it's obviously lettuce based. And you do a great job talking about it's just not about lettuce and it's just not
Right.
about a few vegetables. You on your cooking show, you show how easy it is to prepare food. So tell us, how you've worked to dispel the myths regarding a vegetarian diet.
Right. Well, for me, also being from the South, I'm from Atlanta. I understand that. I actually, when I was a kid, I never ate red meat. but I did, I ate chicken and fish and, poultry and fowl, as my grandmother, or is that what she said? Poultry and fish or whatever. Fowl and fish. Anyway, people thought I was weird. All my friends growing up were, oh, she doesn't eat this. What's wrong with her? She's so strange. She's so weird. And then, becoming vegetarian and vegan, I got just more people saying what's going on and what's this all about. And, people adverse to these changes that I was making. To dispel the myths, though, I started just kind of making foods that people were familiar with, but making them vegan, making them with, all plant-based. I make collard greens and things like that, and succotash, things that I grew up eating, things that my grandmother always made, and I just veganized them. And I think they're just as delicious. They're so much healthier, so much healthier. And then people can see, like that when you start making more familiar things. And then I think that people are empowered to, branch out from there.
Mm-hmm. And so when you started the cooking show, or actually as a chef, you obviously do a lot of experimenting. You do a lot of considering of different types of, tastes and flavors and seasonings and etc. Because I've watched your episodes and I think they're very, very helpful. And when you see someone actually doing it does kind of make it like, oh, I can make that happen. So it's not as difficult as it, appears initially when you first hear, I'm gonna have to change my whole kitchen. I'm gonna have to throw out all my food. So it's almost like, going green. You have to get rid of all these products. You make it bigger than what it is. And so so when you started developing your coaching platform and developing the programs, what were the things you were taking in consideration? Did you have friends you had in mind? Tell me what you did to assess the program.
Yeah. Well, what I did, first of all, since I had already had the blog and I had a good following from that, I started a newsletter. I just basically had, I posted it on my blog, sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to send it once a month. Now I send it once a week. But I was able to get the people who are following my blog anyway into my, so I could have more one-on-one contact with them, sending them emails. Then I was able to start emailing them surveys, asking them questions, what they were looking for, what they wanted to learn, what were their concerns, what was standing in their way. And I've been doing that since I started the business. And I just, keep running tabs on what people want to know, what they say. And that's basically how I put together all my programs. Just,
And so,
from what they want.
yeah, no, customer feedback. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
knowing who your client is and zeroing in on their need and answering the question or solving their problem. And so
Yeah.
that's obviously, the best business practice that anybody can use if you're an entrepreneur. So in addition to that, though, you talked about the transition of, wanting to be an actress, and now you are a chef. So did you give up acting, or have you decided that, your passion is now food and educating the world about becoming a vegan and vegetarian?
Yeah, totally. It's funny though, because when I was in college, I was, starting to feel that frustration with not being passionate about this thing that I was studying. But by the time I moved to New York City, I really felt it. I really felt like I was missing. But food has always been there. It's always been my, my go-to. I've always been able to express myself through it. So I'm not acting anymore, which I'm actually happy about. I have so much less to worry about. But I think that, see, I like to perform. I like being in front of the camera. I like being myself, basically. So instead of acting, I'm basically performing as myself, being on my own cooking show. One of my dreams is to actually, not just on YouTube cooking show, but
Right.
bigger on television and reaching way more people with this message. Because I think it's needed. I think it's time now to help, for people who want to learn more about eating healthy and taking care of themselves and taking preventative measures against these crazy, we have so
Right.
many crazy chronic diseases here, in this country, in the Western world, that are 100% preventable. So helping people to find that and discover that for themselves is what I want to do.
When did you add coaching? Because coaching is another element to a business style and a business practice. So when did you add coaching to your practice?
Right. Well, I actually added coaching pretty early on. I didn't know that I wanted to do coaching, but I actually went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition just to really deepen my knowledge about how food, how it relates in our body and how it affects our body and our mood and all that. But I wanted to learn that so I could be a better chef. But we learn, and this is a program to be certified as a health coach. And I didn't think I'd use it, but we learned so much, and I realized that I could really, help people doing that as well. So basically, just little by little, I started implementing, starting trying to add the coaching into my business. I had some private clients, which was really great. Then I discovered group coaching, which I really love. So you get to work with so many people at the same time, and they build like a community together, which is super,
Right.
super cool. So yeah, just little by little, and pretty much early on I started.
Tell us a little bit about the 30-day program. When
Yeah.
it, how people, what can they expect?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the, challenges that people face that are going through the process. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, well, the 30-day vegan challenge, it is a virtual group interactive program. Basically, you learn the ins and outs of being vegan, everything that you need to know: where to get your protein, how to save money, how to actually prepare delicious and nutritious and nourishing food. And it's a group program, so we have a community built. We have a Facebook online page. Every week, participants get recipes and meal plans, and they get cooking videos every week to see how it's actually done. Resource guides. It's actually really fun. And a lot of people come into the challenge thinking, okay, for 30 days, it's going to be like a cleanse. But I've had plenty of people who are like, wow, I feel so much better, because it's often that we don't realize how bad we feel
Right.
until we start making a change and feel better. So
Right.
people realize, oh my God, I have way more energy. Like I couldn't even imagine having this before. I've lost weight, it just fell off of me. People's weight starts to, balance and go to the right weight, and also digestion, clearer skin. People get the glow. The challenges are often, I think the biggest mistake people run into when they're trying to go vegan is trying to eat like just too light. Like, the foods are
Right.
just too light. Trying to eat just like a lot of salads, but not, 'cause the thing is, when you're eating products, they've got
Yeah. Yeah.
saturated fat in them, and that's often something that makes you satiated. So often people switch to a vegan diet and they're not eating enough fat, so they're not feeling full. They're not eating enough, protein sometimes. It depends. Everyone's body is different, but a plant-based diet, is, in my opinion, the way to go. Different people approach it differently, but basically it's just finding what fits for you. So I help people in the challenge to figure out what it is that fits right for them, so that they can really thrive and really be successful.
Well, Jenné, thank you for your time. I mean, now everyone knows why you are the go-to person when it comes to the transition from, to vegetarian or vegan life, to a vegan diet. And again, I won't, you won't be disappointed when you check out our website. I really encourage you all to visit her online. Send her emails and send her questions. One, you'll be
Yeah.
helping her develop new programs and strategies and new products by giving her feedback. And more importantly, ask the questions so that you can make a educated decision about your healthy life. And that's actually the most important reason why we actually brought her on, because like I said, it's always, are you thinking about it? And if you are, stop in and talk to Jenné
Yeah.
Claiborne from out of New York. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to having you back on the show and
Thank
talk
you.
about maybe something else that you have going on, or maybe to even just pose some questions about lifestyle.
Sure. Sounds
All right.
awesome. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for your time.
Of red cabbage. So I saved some of the outer leaves of the red cabbage, the ones that look nice and clean and healthy. And basically, you do the exact same thing you just did with the corn tortilla with the red cabbage. All right, so I'm officially in taco heaven. I've got my corn tortilla or my corn taco, and I've got my healthier. No, I don't know if it's healthier, but I've got my